This is short rib ragu with pappardelle, deep, slow braised, and built specifically for the Brunello di Montalcino. What's up everybody, Chef Glenn B, and I'm back in the kitchen, and today I'm working on short rib ragu with pappardelle, and I'm going to pair it with a Brunello di Montalcino. Let's get right into it. The first thing I'm going to do is get these short ribs seared. I want to get them slowly braising in the oven. I want to make sure I get my short ribs dry. I'm going to pat them with the paper towel. As you can see, I've got them trimmed up really nicely. I trimmed the fat off of them because once they're braised, we're going to pull the meat off of these, and we don't want to deal with that fat later on. I've got my short ribs seasoned up, and I'm going to add a little oil to my Dutch oven. All right, we're going to get these seared on each side until they're nice and brown. All right, so we got the short ribs browned. I'm gonna set them aside. So I reduced my heat, and I'm gonna add my onions to the pan, carrots, and the celery. I'm gonna saute these vegetables up for about 5 minutes. I want them to begin to take on some color. My vegetables are looking good. I'm ready to go ahead and add my garlic to the pan. So I'm going to allow that garlic to cook for just about 30 seconds or so. All right, so I'm going to add my tomato paste. And I'm going to allow that to cook for a couple of minutes. About 2 minutes. I want the tomato paste to begin to darken a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and deglaze that with some red wine. I want that wine to reduce by half. All right, I've got the reduction that I'm looking for. I've got some crushed tomatoes. Add those. Beef stock. Rosemary, fresh thyme, and a bay leaf. I'm going to add my short ribs back to the pan. I've got my oven preheated to 325 degrees. I've returned the braising liquid to a simmer so that when it goes in, it's good and hot. These are going to braise in the oven for anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours. You want them to fall off the bone tender. All right, the short ribs are done. I've pulled them out of the braising liquid, and I set the braising liquid aside. I want to get these pulled off of the bone, and I want to get the meat shredded up, get the fat separated, get all of that taken care of. All right, so I've got the short ribs off of the bone, got the meat separated from the fat, and this is what I've come up with. Nice bowl of meat here. I've got what's left of the braising liquid. I've discarded the herbs, the stems from the rosemary and the thyme, and I've taken the bay leaf out, and we're left with a nice, thick concoction here. Obviously there was a little grease on top, so I skimmed a little of the fat off of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build my sauce. I've got my braising reduction here, and I'm gonna add this to this pan. So as you can see, we left with a thick, rich reduction from braising those short ribs. I've got some butter here. I'm gonna add to the reduction. I'm gonna add some heavy cream. All right, I'm gonna add my shredded beef to the sauce. And let's stir in some Parmigiano Reggiano. So we got the sauce done. I'm covering that and I'm gonna let that sit there until I'm ready for it. I've got my pappardelle, and this is gonna cook for 8 to 10 minutes. You make sure you read the instructions on your package, but 8 to 10 minutes in boiling salted water, and then I'm gonna toss it with the sauce. I've got a little bit of the reserved pasta water. Add to that. It's gonna help to ensure that that sauce sticks to the pasta. Spoon some of that sauce around the pasta and on the pasta. Super rich. Garnish it with some shaved Parmigiano Reggiano. And a sprig of thyme. All right, my short rib ragu with pappardelle is done, and I'm pairing it with a 2020 St. Giorgio Brunello di Montalcino. Beautiful dark crimson color on the wine. Wow. On the nose, I'm getting dried flowers, sour cherry. There's almost a little bit of a balsamic thing going on the nose as well. Give it a taste. Beautiful mouthfeel, medium body plus on the palate. Vibrant acidity, again that sour cherry is prominent. Little leather. Tobacco as well on the palate. And again, that vibrant acidity. I'm looking forward to tasting it with this because of the richness of the sauce. So with no further delay, let's get right into this. That is delicious. Wow. Fantastic. That slow braised didn't hurt those short ribs at all. Now let's see if it pairs. Oh, it's seamless. That acidity, that vibrant acidity cuts through the richness of the sauce, resets the palate. In addition to that, there's a savoriness with the wine that's just aligning with this pasta. It's actually making the ragu even richer. It's like lifting the ragu as well. But I gotta double check. That is a perfect pairing. I'm Chef Glenn Bien, as always, eat well.